Good afternoon, Outliers. Happy Monday. Happy July 8th. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I tell you what, I hope you had a great holiday weekend. My holiday weekend was absolutely a shit show. Let me tell you all about it. So I left out here Friday afternoon um with my boys to go to our lake house. We get to our lake house and it's dark. We hadn't mowed the grass in a couple months, and so the grass is overgrown. And we walk in, and we're looking around, and apparently some bugs got in, so there were some spiders and crickets and whatnot around the house, and so that's not that big a deal. We kind of work with that. And uh, what stopped me in my tracks was I walked in, and I went in the living room, and there was mold, like mold just out on the chairs, and I'm like, what the freak is happening? We got insects in here, we got mold in here, and I'm looking around and I'm like, boys, we can't stay here. So we bailed immediately. Got home at 4 a.m. Saturday morning, called my parents and had a conversation with them. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And they're like, well, we need to go up there and figure that out. So then 4 o'clock, I got home. 1 p.m., I'm back on the road again. And we get up there, and my dad and we go all through the house. We realize it's surface mold, which apparently is really easy to kill with some white vinegar. So we go through and we just soak the whole house. I mean, you'd be choking on how much vinegar we put out. And we put out a dehumidifier. And I mean, we cleaned and cleaned and cleaned, and we saved the house, basically, is what I told my kids. I was like, we couldn't have stayed there Friday night, but by Saturday night, the house was it was saved. So my dad and I stayed there Saturday night and then drove back Sunday morning. But in the meantime, my mother, or my sister-in-law had to have emergency surgery. So my kids are here with my wife, and she's freaking out because it's her sister going into emergency surgery. And so she runs my kids over to my parents' house. So they're with my mom while my dad and I are in Arkansas at our lake house dealing with all this. And man, it was crazy. But I mean, all good things came out of it. We saved the house. Praise Jesus for that, because that was going to be a huge disaster. Then my sister-in-law turned out okay, so praise Jesus for that. And yeah, I was like, man, what a weekend. I don't want to have another weekend like that again. I think I drove like 20 hours from Friday until yesterday afternoon. And in the meantime, if I wasn't driving, I was basically doing manual labor. So it was a crazy weekend. I hope your weekend was way better than mine. Good to see you, David. Hope you had a great weekend. Leo, glad you're back. Sebastian, good to see you, my friend. Gora, it's been a couple weeks, dude. Glad to see you. Randy, Jean-Louis, how you doing? Brian, good to see everybody. So, have you guys seen this? I just saw this news just a couple minutes ago. Costco rival changes key perk policy, but it could backfire. So I am a huge fan of Costco. I don't know if you are, but man, I spend all of my money goes to two places. And my wife is in charge of this when it happens. It either goes to Amazon or it goes to Costco. So all of my money goes to Costco or Amazon. My best Costco experience was I went there one day to get paper towels, and I ended up spending $350 and having a trunk full of stuff. And so it's like, you can't, when you go into Costco, you can't just buy a couple things, right? But maybe that's what Sam's Club is trying to do, have that same sort of customer loyalty. Because man, I was watching this documentary about Costco. I think I forget where I heard it from, but I feel like it was a documentary. They were talking about the fact that their customers are incredibly loyal. They make the most money on the business basically through the memberships, and they're never ever going to change the price of the $1.50 hot dog. And they said that basically everything in the store that is Costco brand, so Kirkland brand, is as good or better than the name brand that's right beside it. So I thought that was really interesting. They said they even go to the manufacturers and they say, you need to make our product better than your product. And it's like, what? That's crazy. So Costco is where it's at, my friends. I'll tell you what. But Sam's Club Plus members have about 6 weeks to use a coveted perk, and they're letting wholesale giant know they're not happy about it. Effective August 19th, Plus members will only get free shipping on orders from Sam's Club website on $50 or more. And if you didn't add $50 or more, there's an $8 flat rate fee. Some category exclusions apply. How are you spinning these new changes now for Plus members? We have to order $50 to get free shipping. You're taking away benefits. Enough. Respond back to your Plus members. This is some BS. Don't ghost us. It's crazy, right? I've run into that a little bit with Amazon. I don't know if you've been that, right? I've had Prime for years, but now Prime Video has ads in it, which is annoying. I've had Prime for years, and now instead of it being next day or 2 day shipping, I feel like they've added an extra day unless you pay, $2.99 to get a little bit faster. And I'm like, that's not how I remember this being. I've noticed that lately. And now Sam's Club coming through and saying, hey, you got to spend at least $50 to get free shipping, which is probably pretty easy to do, honestly. But, you can't take something away from people and expect them to be totally chill with it. Be like, oh, yeah, I would love to spend more. Please let me spend more. Please start adding ads to this program that I'm already paying for Prime for. Please go ahead and add ads to it. So yeah, I don't see where Sam's Club is going to come out ahead on this, right? And that's definitely going to hurt their bottom line. It's definitely going to backfire, in my opinion. And people are going to be heading over to Costco in droves. I mean, I can't tell you the last time I took my wife's car, because my car's electric. I took my wife's car over to Costco, to get stuff and gas, and seeing the line of gas being like 6 cars deep, right? You don't push people away over to Costco, because that membership experience over at Costco is so good that you will like completely run yourself out of business. And unfortunately, I think Sam's Club is heading in that direction. But did I buy the paper towels? I did. I did. Yes. And that was, Brian, that was probably 2 years ago. And we're still working on that one pack of paper towels, right? It's so big. Prime deliveries no longer show up as advertised. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the experience I'm having too. Government does it every day. Take away stuff we already pay for. Yeah, you got that right. Man, I'll tell you what. And democracy is on the line. Yeah, we'll see about that. Let's go see also on Walmart. So Walmart's the parent company of Sam's Club. And if we look in, we can see that Walmart's really been on a tear lately. I think it had a low in June of 2022. So it's been a while, around $40 a share. And right now we're pushing up as high as $60 a share. Had lots of buy and sell signals in the meantime. We did get a sell signal here on June 21st. So if you are a Walmart shareholder, now may be the time to get out, because I mean, it went from around $64 a share to about $67 a share, about $3 gain on that one trade right there. But if we look at their performance summary, hey, we can see a 90.98% return on Walmart right here, which is pretty awesome, right? And in fact, this capital efficiency is a big number that me and the co-founders of OVTLYR were talking about, how important capital efficiency is. So with a 1.96, that means basically you are out of the market half the time and get basically the same reward from it, right? If you were in the market even more, you would have seen much more drawdowns. In fact, the max drawdown here only 15% versus 25%. So yeah, OVTLYR definitely delivers here right now. But Costco does charge for shipping. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe they got to make up for those $1.50 hot dogs. But let's go ahead and jump into our market analysis. All right, so I did make some changes to this today. If I need to make some edits, you'll see me do it live. But I was taking a little bit of a social media course over the weekend while I was driving down the road for 20 hours, it felt like. And one thing that they were talking about was making sure that I introduce myself, because there are people who show up every single time who know who we are, but there's also new people who come every time who are like, who's this guy? Who's this rando, right? So welcome to the OVTLYR Trading Room. This is how to trade only 10 minutes a day and exactly how to take the guesswork out of trading. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Christopher Uhl. I've twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I've been successfully trading since 2009, and I'm a partner with OVTLYR. And this is my style of trading using OVTLYR. But OVTLYR delivers you new opportunities every single day. So we're going to be using the golden ticket trading strategy here, which is the 8 steps to turn profit hacking into pure gold. It always starts with the market. We need to trade with the trend of the market, with the SPY, the SPY showing the 10 over the 20, price over the 50. And let's go to the SPY. SPY's flat on the day, but setting new all-time highs intraday. But we do have the 10 over the 20, price over the 50. And this is one thing that I want to talk about on Friday. On Friday, we will be having a special live stream. On this, what I'm going to be doing for the next while is really breaking down parts of the trading strategy that I have, how I came from it, how I learned from it, why we do it. So these are going to be super educational. I'm going to try and like put them into 15-minute chunks. So I definitely want you to come to that. That'll be on Friday. So that'll be at 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, right before the trading room. So the market is still trending higher. Now let's go look at the market breadth. So if we go over here to the market breadth inside of Outlier, let that load for just a moment. Drop off the 5, add on the 10, and we can see here that the percent of stocks on the bull list is growing. So the percent of stocks with buy signals continues to grow. That's what we want to see here. So that looks great. So we do have the trend moving in our direction and the market breadth moving in our direction. So next, before we take on any new trades, we need to reduce risk before adding anything new. So the way that I do that is I have a very detailed checklist here of what I want to see as an exit signal. And I feel like we might need to do some work today, so let's get busy. First trade that we have on is in, let's start with ING. ING, we put this on Friday, popped up a little bit this morning, has basically gone flat from where we got in. Let's look at ING on the behavioral heat map, because I didn't make a note on it yet, where we got in. Let me zoom in. And we got in when it was at an R1 value. So the behavioral heat map down here at an R1 value, showing right across at the top there. R1 value. My exit point on anything red, R, is at a G13, a green 13, kind of like this. So I need to add on that real quick. All right, so we got the plan there. Now, it's not below the 10 or half an ATR from entry. So that'd be here and here. So neither of those are broken. There's no order blocks in our way. Those would show up on the screen right up here. But let's check the heat map. It was R1 we got in. Actually it's R1 right now. I did not realize that. So that is a heat map stall. When the heat map stalls at a value, that's my signal to get out. And actually, I wasn't planning on getting out of what is that? ING, I believe. Hang on one second. Yeah, of ING. So that's the plan. I got to go do it right now. So I'm going to go close ING. I am in the ING's July 19th. Which strike is that? 17 calls. I'm in the July 19th, 17 calls. Let's see if we can get filled for $1. That's the wrong button. Let's see if we can get filled for $1. There it is. All right, so I'm in my business account on the other screen, closing full quantity. I'm just going to see if we can get it out for $1. That's working in order right now. Let's look at the 5-minute chart, just curious. I mean, either way, it's going to be a pretty close scratch. If I can't get out at $1, we'll get out pretty close to that. All right, working it down from $1 to 97 cents. Still not out at 97. Let's go 95 cents. Surely that'll get. Yeah, filled at 95. All right, so we're out of ING at 95. A quick scratch trade. That definitely is not a big deal. Let's go to the Discord. One of our friends is Yorn, who is an airline pilot, and he was telling me he is up in the air today. So I will let him know we're getting out of ING right there. Closed ING. 17 calls for 95 cents, which was practically nothing. Oh, I forgot to fill in my spreadsheet on Friday. I was too excited to get out of town for the weekend. Hang on. Give me just a moment here. I got to fill in my details. So that was 7.5. ING long calls quantity. Okay. No. Sorry, my scanner has popped up here. Yeah. Sorry, this is terrible content. I know. We got into ING at 17.90 at $1. Get out at 95. Closed on the 8th. Okay, there we go. So return on capital was 5.33% plus, and that includes commissions, just so you know. And the account impact was 60 basis points. Okay, it's important to keep in mind, we're not going to hit home runs. We're not going to double our accounts on every trade that goes out there, right? When I say, this is a 60 basis point hit to my account, that means I took a loss, I took it off the trade, and I still have 99.4% of my account left. That's how it's supposed to be, okay? Don't get suckered into all these people on the Instagrams and whatnot telling you, all this crazy stuff. That's the kind of trading that actually is long-term, right? Of course, we want to hit home runs, but every once in a while, take a strikeout. It's okay. All right, let's move on to the next one here. Like I say, I actually thought we were going to keep on ING. Hadn't planned on taking that one off. Shell, SHEL, I definitely thought we'd be taking off. Let's look at Synex real quick. Synex looks like it's going to stay on. And let's mark our sell into strength point real quick. $7.54. So G13, it was at R7 when we got in, or when we got the buy signal. All right, so this will be us at G13. Okay. So Synex stays on because it's not having a 10 EMA broken, half ATR, no order blocks yet. A heat map has installed, and we're not profitable on it yet, so I don't have to worry about it closing where it is right now. So Synex stays on. Let's go on to the next trade, which is Shell. Definitely need to take off. It's below the half ATR, which is this right here, half ATR from entry. So let's go take off Shell. Now this is why we do this before we put on new trades, right? Putting on new trades is fun and it's exciting, but you got to clear your trades before you add anything new. Before you take on any risk, you need to look to reduce risk first. Shell, July 19th, 71 calls. In fact, like I say, I didn't put in my details in the spreadsheet last week, so I need to do it real quick. We got into Shell. It's this one right here. Get my quantity. Okay. Spreadsheets fight me. That's okay. Entry price was at 73.25. 71 calls. Bought it for 265. Okay. Current price is 207. Let's see if we can get filled to close. Not at 207. Let's bump that. Replace it. 205. Closing. Oh, cool. I put in at 205. It actually got filled at 207. That'll work. Okay. So taking that off. Close the shell. 71 calls for 207. And we got in at 265. All right, so that was a 22% loss on the option, which did 2% to my portfolio. Not a heat map stall. It was below the half ATR. All right. Oh yeah, Yorn, no problem, my friend. So that's those two. Keeping on Synex, and then we're moving on to the next step. The next step, we got some capital on our account again, so we have more to trade with than we did just a couple minutes ago. And let's go take a look at the outlier bull and bear lists. And we're going to filter for green overlays because the market's going up. Market breadth is going up. So we only want to look at long trades. Don't get in front of anything right now. So I'll give this just a minute to come through. We have 43 new on the bull list, 23 new on the bear list, filtering for the green overlays. Now, the way that I'm going to trade, I'm only going to trade $20 or higher and last day close, or I'm sorry, average daily volume over 1 million. And as you can see, there's not all that many. I've actually dropped this in right here. There's 7 that are over 1 million and over 1 million. And what is the word I'm thinking of? Green overlays. Yeah. So then I take that into here, into my bull list, which I've already dropped in. I run my scanner real quick. And the scanner is going to check a couple things. It's going to make sure there's no order blocks in our way. The price is moving in the direction of the trend that we want. There's no earnings in the next 3 days. And only one guy passes through, the trade desk. And that's an interesting trade. So, or interesting stock. Interesting, I see. We have an order block, but it's about 5% away. I'll be more than happy to take a $5 move on this trade. So I'm good for that. What I did notice was this has a VCP pattern. I was just texting actually with Mark Minervini over the weekend. He's one of my friends. And I was saying happy 4th to him. And he was asking how things were going. And this is Mark's signature pattern right there, where it's deeper and then shallower and shallower. And then it comes to a breakout point. So I love when I can see that, right? I don't trade patterns, but when I see something like that, I always find it interesting when I talk about it. So let's go to TTD. Let's go on the option chain. TTD, there we go. What I'm looking for is, we need to double check the positive expectancy. See, this is why we have a process. Step through it every time to make sure you don't leave anything out, right? So let's go to TTD. What I want to see is positive expectancy on the back test with outlier. So we're going to hit the performance summary. Oh, wow. I would not trade this one. Outlier signals do not work very well with TTD, negative 91%. All right. That's it. And that is exactly why we have this process, right? Because I definitely wouldn't want to take that trade knowing that the historical results with outlier are not all that great. So I'm going to skip this trade, but we'll take a look at some more tomorrow. And Synex stays on. So that's everything I got in my portfolio right now. It's just Synex. Hasn't hit that point yet. So that's going to wrap it for today's Outlier Trading Room. Thank you so much for coming. I will be here tomorrow checking out some new trades with you. Mahesh told me that, let me double check what he said. We do have some upgrades coming in the platform here really quick. The scanner, which I'm most excited about, which is going to save us actually a lot of time. I'm looking at our Skype messages real quick. He's going to have it in dev by the end of the week. I have access to dev. And as you know, I kind of like to share the things that aren't publicly available yet. So we're going to try it out. Dev isn't always up to date. Sometimes dev lags in data, but we'll definitely be able to play with it. So I'm excited about that. Don't forget, Friday, we have a special live stream. I definitely want you to come because we're going to be going through different parts of the trading strategy. And it's not Brian. It's not going to be just a pitch fest. There will be a lot of education that goes on with this. But then I'll do a soft pitch at the end. So, Brian, that was mainly for you, my friend. You guys have a fantastic afternoon. See you right back here tomorrow. Talk soon.